Welcome everybody. A really common thing that WordPress users need to know how to do is to create menus. And so I want to show you how to make a menu and some of the different items that you have available. First of all, when you want to do menus, you got to go into the dashboard, under Appearance, under Menus, and you can add multiple menus. You give it a name. So I'm going to call this first one Home as the menu. I'm going to click Create Menu. Okay, so then once you have a menu, you can add particular pages that you create. You can add specific posts. You can make custom links going to anywhere you want it to go, including your own sort of, if you've got another folder of non-WordPress content, you can even create a link that way. Or you can do it by categories. So I'm going to focus on pages and categories primarily. Those are my favorite ways to do menus. For a page, for a menu, you should always have a home, a link to the home. So we're going to go ahead and select View All so we see Home, check Home, and click Add to Menu. Okay, and there's our home menu link. Okay, also, categories. Right now I have a list of different categories. I don't recommend you have a link on your nav bar to uncategorized. It just doesn't look very good. It's very unseemly. But I do have some JavaScript, literature, CSS, and so I'm going to select all of these. So any post that has one of these particular categories, they're going to be linkable from your menu, with one caveat. And caveat, no, it's not a very fancy thing you eat with crackers and stuff. It means there's one catch to this. The catch to doing a menu like this, and I'm going to go ahead and save it, is, oh, by the way, you got to choose where you're going to add the menu. So as you see on here, just automatically based on the theme we have here, which is the default theme, you can add it to the top primary menu, and that becomes the main menu. Or you can also have another secondary menu in a sidebar. And then based on the theme you create or that you add, you can put menus in different contexts. I'm not going to go over that. That's more of a theming thing. I'm more talking about managing WordPress. So we're going to put it as the top primary menu. The other thing is if you want to change the order, I want to move CSS up and I want to move JavaScript down, we can click and drag these. The other thing is you can drag something over and you'll notice this now becomes a child of the menu item below. This is how you make those nested menus in WordPress. And I don't really have any nested menus at this point. I'm going to go ahead and save our changes. Now you may or may not see your menu. It's all based on how your WordPress site is set up, and it has to do with permalinks. So first thing you may want to do is just see if you see your menu. Right now I have my menu right here. I see it looks good. Okay, there's home, CSS, literature, JavaScript. I click CSS. I see text and box shadows. That's it. I click on JavaScript. I have a couple of posts related to it. As I add more posts, if I add the category of JavaScript, you'll be able to link to it right here. It'll automatically update. We have another one on literature, you can see here, etc. So there's the menu. Now the only way this menu works though is we have to go to the dashboard. You may not see your menu, and that's because under settings, you have a thing called permalinks. Under permalinks, the default setting, notice, is the name of your WordPress site, the URL, plus a question mark, P equals whatever. That stands for page or post equals whatever number. So every time you create a post, and I'll show you looking at our post, your post has a unique ID. And that ID is a number which I am not seeing here. Well, let's take a look at text and box shadows. There should be an ID related to that. And apparently I'm not seeing it. Let's go back to our settings and permalinks. And let's just change it to default. Save our changes. And now we'll take a look at our site. Oh good, the menu stays. Okay. you'll notice, for example, if I click on a post now, it'll say P equals 40. Well, this is the unique ID of that post, number 40. Okay, so anyway, I did all this talk about permalinks, and lo and behold, I cannot recreate the problem that I had to begin with. When I first started trying to create a menu, it wasn't adding posts with a particular category. It was like nothing I could do until I went to permalinks post name. Once I saved it that way, then it started working. However, since doing that, I've been changing permalink settings, and I can't seem to recreate the problem, which is a good thing if you can't recreate a problem, honestly. However, then all my talk about permalinks seems to have fallen flat. However, I will say that the post name method of permalinks is one of the more human readable URL configurations of a WordPress site, and I do recommend you do it that way. I mean, you could do it month and name, day and name, numeric, etc., but I think post name just reads better. So we're going to go ahead and save it that way. And I will tell you, if you are having trouble getting your menu to show, all you may need to do to trigger that is to select post name, save your changes, and you might get everything working okay. So if you're having trouble, try out permalinks, try out post name, save your changes, and you should be able to see it. Now, I go back to my site. I can see I created an extra post called CSS Post 2. I added it as a category, and let's create another post, and I'll call it JavaScript 3 or something. Okay, and I'm going to add it as a category, and I'm going to click Publish. Then when I go to the page and I click on JavaScript, JavaScript 3 shows at the top, sample 2, canvas test, etc., etc., etc. The other thing that you might be wondering is, what if, for some reason, I have one that falls under two categories? I'm going to write literature about JavaScript, or it's going to have CSS and JavaScript. Well, if you add both of those categories, then that post will show up in either of the menu items. Under CSS, there it is. Under, JavaScript, there we have it also. Okay, so keep that in mind. You can add multiple categories and to one post, and it will just show up on the menu. Of course, you can also create new pages and add those. You can create an About Us page. So I click on here, and we'll just do a little About Me, and then add something here. This time it's a page. It has no parent, and I'm going to click Publish. And now I want to add this page to my menu. So I just go back to Appearance, Menus. I want to look on Pages. There is About Me. I can add it to the menu. Shows at the bottom that's a good location to put it. I can even change it from About Me to About Us, or just About. Save the menu. Go back to the site. There's About. Click it. Now it's showing me a page. Okay, so that's how the menu system works. It's very versatile, very easy to use. I hope you'll appreciate. And then, like I said, you can make nested lists. Let me just show you what that looks like. Not that I have one that really makes good use of nesting, but I just wanted to show you what this can look like. So let's say I want to put JavaScript as a child of CSS, and I'm just going to throw literature there as well. I'm going to save the menu. Now, it's really going to depend on your theme as to how it displays. On here, notice it's like a hover menu. You hover over it, and you can see the other two links. Okay. Sometimes it's a toggle. Sometimes it even just displays on the main menu, not as a hover effect. It's really going to depend on the theme that you have. You want to change it, just go back to the dashboard, click on Appearance and Menus, and you can add more pages. You can rearrange them. You can not nest them, make them all flat, however you want to do it. Good luck with this.